Well, how many of you have heard of Schutzhund dog training? Not very many. But for those of you who have not, I hope I can give you a clear view of what the interesting training sport is. I've been researching this for a couple weeks, and I've definitely learned a lot. And plus, my boyfriend has 3 German Shepherds. One of them is now going through the Schutzhund training. The other 2 did not go through it. And you can definitely see a huge difference in how they behave. The puppy, her obedience skills are just very, very good, and she's only 15 weeks. But today I will discuss a little bit about its history, the 3 phases of Schutzhund training, and the pros and cons of it. First, I'll give you the history. Schutzhund has been around for a little over a century, yet many people have not heard of it. It began in the early 1900s in Germany. It was used in the military to test the dog's abilities, and they often use the dogs to track down the enemy. It has grown to be a popular sport in many countries today, such as Germany, Russia, and the U.S. Today, they hold regional and national competitions. Schutzhund training is usually used for police dog training because it teaches them to be aggressive, but when you want them to be aggressive. Also, many people even use it as a pastime hobby. And if you don't know, they use German commands. Here are some of the commands. In German. There's the command in English, and then in German, and then the pronunciation. So you can look at that for a second. Now I will discuss the background on Schutzhund. Now that you have a little bit of background on Schutzhund, I will discuss the 3 phases of it. The 3 phases are the tracking phase, the obedience phase, and the protection phase. In the tracking phase, they are taught to track down scents, like whether it's drugs or a person running from the cops or a missing person. This is usually the first stage taught to puppies. And then the next stage is obedience. It focuses on the manner skills and such as housebreaking and how it makes the dog behave when they're on lead, and learning to ask for a reward. Then the protection phase, it focuses on building a dog's confidence so that when the time comes and they need to be aggressive, they'll enjoy the fight. Dogs with good obedience skills that have entered the protection phase, they are trained to attack on command. So usually if they see a person to attack, then they won't attack unless the person says you can go attack them. Here is a little video. It just shows how obedient they are. And he's speaking in the German language. then you see how obedient they are. And then my last point is the pros and cons of it. As there isn't anything, there's always a pro and there's always a con. But I think in Schutzhund, there's more pros to it than cons. First, I'll point out the cons. The first one is money. Schutzhund can be quite expensive. It ranges from I think 600 to about 1,000. Then the second one is time. It takes a while for the dogs to be comfortable in each phase. So it definitely will take some time. But now I'll point out the pros. If you ask anyone who has been through Schutzhund, they'll tell you it's hands down worth every penny and minute. If it's taught correctly, it will be highly effective. Many people worry that it'll make their dog like a furry ball of rage, but really it calms their dog down and it makes them more obedient, and it makes your dog very trustworthy. And like if you're in a bad situation, you'll know that your dog can take care of you. You not only build up their confidence, but you build like a lifelong friendship with them. In conclusion, today I've discussed the history, the 3 phases, and the pros and cons of Schutzhund. Now, as you leave today, I hope I have given you a better understanding of it and how it works. Schutzhund is highly beneficial for a dog to have. It not only makes them confident and fairly excellently skilled canine, but it also creates a trustworthy pal that would give its life to protect their beloved master. Thank you.
All right, Marissa, what did you think?
I thought that you did a really good job. Like, the speech was really organized and everything in your thesis was covered. The only thing was that you didn't cite any of the material.
I had it written down by my name and I forgot.
Yeah, so that was like the negative thing that I found. Other than that, though, I thought you did really good.
All right.